Alright, Sensei, just finished watching your video, so I'm not gonna break down. I'm not gonna show like the all the best trades. Like obviously you just did that. The main one I will rehash is Pi, because I was looking. It was one of the stock I was looking at, and I didn't trade it, and I gotta ask myself why. So um, absolutely, like I have some counter trend rules. Like we talked about, one of the main setups being like you know multiple free bars from Keltner with the 5 EMA, outside of Keltner being like a setup. And I actually traded ADXS, we talked about. But like, what are my real entry rules? And I knew you were suckering me in with Baba on Thursday. Honestly, man, my focus, and I think it's really been, I've been putting this pressure on myself. Well, one, let's go and just one, haven't been working hard. Two, I've been, I'm going home in like 2 weeks, and there's no part of me that wants to go back to the States and be like, oh, I started trading again, but I haven't made any money. It's like I feel kind of fucking embarrassed. Like, but it's fucked up that if I would just follow my process and trade Pi, one in a week, trade Pi, trade home that first day I started trading. Like that's all it takes, dude. Like all this bad shit that I've been doing, it's wiped out one day if I make one good trade, and like that's the thing I just have to keep reinforcing in my fucking brain. It's like following the process, being even more strict about stock selection, and if I'm doing that, I'm gonna take less of these mediocre marginal fucking bullshit setups. So anyway, SPY breakdown. S&P 500 ETFs, long-term uptrend, making higher highs, higher lows. Recent trend action is going sideways in a range just near the all-time high. So, as I said, made two trades. ADXS is a biotech penny stock. And sideways to down, the big picture. The setup, though, was rubber band snapback. So the 5 EMA is not outside of Keltner, but we have 1, 2, 3 free bars coming off of a nice momentum move. So the idea was red dog reversal. The trigger would have been trading back above the prior day's low, but I think I'm smart, so I saw like this. So I saw what I wanted to see, like a go down, then test up, and then kind of right here we started to test the low day again. So I got long like right at like 87 cents or something, because I was like, okay, I have like a really small stop, and if this does do the red dog reversal, then that would be cool. But dude, there's like no rule, I'm fucking trading. I'm like long the low view op. That's pretty ridiculous. And I like just have no, as you said, I have no rules for counter trend trading. So whatever I do, it doesn't matter if I have success or not. I'm not gonna be able to replicate it because there's no process there. So if I'm gonna counter trend trade, which I've seen a lot of good setups. Like I showed you was a the Skyline the other day. Like I like like we get gap up go ups with double tops and like you were talking about in ADMP, like that's really solid, especially coming off like the wide range days, like thinking 80-20s or all those things, like they definitely line up and I can see them happening. So I just really need to go in and say like, okay, what's my rule? Say, how am I going to enter this trade? Because I see a lot of the setups, but how am I going to enter this trade? How am I going to take profits like more aggressively, like we talked about? So, but the other trade I made was Win. So Win's a casino, consumer cyclical sector. Big picture is uptrend, making higher highs, higher lows. Recent trend action was going sideways for about 10 bars. So we kind of have this obvious level at 135.26, but let's call it 135. But definitely 135.26 got touched a couple times. So I had an alert here. We opened lower or open flat, test down, and then went up. Volume came in on this up move, and so called this a flag. Outside of the, so does this meet my rules? So are we outside the past 3 days range? Yes. Are we outside the opening range? Opening range high is right here. So are we outside the opening range high? Yes. This is a flag entry. It's at all-time highs. There's volume on the up move. No resistance above. So big picture trend is up. So this was a losing trade, but honestly, I feel like this was one good trade, and I just didn't have a winner. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this meets all of my criteria. There's volume on this up move, and maybe you call this like too far too fast, but 240 and the wide range days and win have gone for this was like $8. This day was like $5. So if you said wide range day is $5 and win, to go up, $2.5, you could say, okay, maybe that's a measured move to have that left. So I think this is one good trade, man. And I'm not mad at myself for this one. ADXS was kind of some bullshit because setup was there and I was trading it the right way for the setup, but I have no entry process. So just kind of rehash on Pi again. Really kicking myself in the ass about Pi. So what's Pi? Pi was a recent IPO last year, tech sector, big picture uptrend, making higher highs, higher lows. Kind of going sideways, just underneath the all-time high, 3 days overlapping, and then the trigger would be getting up at 49.80. So once again, kicking myself. I didn't even need to have an alert here because I was watching this shit intraday, and then I saw this. Okay, so gap up, go up. So I stopped looking at it, and then honestly, man, once again, just fucking telling the truth. I threw all my trade and wins, all my buying power was used up. And then I fucked off for the day, fucked off for the whole night. And see what happens. Let's just look at the fucking timestamps. So I'm in win. I get stopped out in win. I think my stop was at so I got filled at let me just do the purple lines and make it easier because I forgot to do that. So 70 cents, right? So that's where I got filled at, and then my stop was at 134.70, right? So that's where my trade was a win. So I literally just put the trade in, closed my eyes, walked away, and so that's 11 a.m. So if I didn't decide to just fuck off, oh shit, I get stopped out and win. But if I'm still on the hunt, not being a fucktard, here's my perfect resistance becomes support entry in Pi that that erases that losing trade and win. How much can I risk here? I don't know if I'm risking the VWAP, maybe 100 shares, I think. But still 100 shares is holding to the end of the day, $400. So lose 100, make 300. I think 300 in a day is fucking pretty good day. But this is the one I'm really kicking myself. I should not have missed this. And it's all about lack of effort. It's lack of hard work, dude. Because the hard work beforehand, the hard work of doing the research, the hard work sitting in front of the computer, waiting for the shit. This is what I have to wait for. And anyway, there's no this is not complaining. I'm just telling the truth, man. I need to say this shit to you to make it real because I'm being a fuck. So I'm not being a man. You definitely call me out of this shit. This is not how men behave, and I'm definitely not gonna do anything good. And like you said, how you let off the video, enjoy trading. I'm fucking not enjoying trading at all, and think that's why I'm putting up my fucking video till 12 hours before the market opens, or not even 12 hours, motherfucking 6 hours before the market opens, because I'm hating that I'm losing, and the only thing is that's going to keep me from losing is following my process. Whether I make money or not, if I follow the process in the long run, I will make money, because obviously the process does have edge. So anyway, dude, I got no fucking excuses. This is the one good trade I needed this week, and I fucked off, and I left this one on the table. So, will I change? We'll see. Later, dude.